I know the gym's a little echoey. I just needed my whiteboard for a second. But Shane, go ahead and like flag me down if at any point like you guys, the audio cuts out or anything like that. Cool. All right. So basically today I wanted to start off with kind of overall like bird's eye view of what good nutrition is, and it's obviously a very subjective thing. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Based off of some of the topics that I saw you guys might be interested in, and some of the specific questions that I saw, I've kind of sprinkled those items in throughout the talk a little bit to kind of help give it a little bit of shape. But one of the ones I saw and that I think kind of speaks for a lot of people is just asking, you know, generally speaking, like, what's the healthiest way to lose weight? And I think for a lot of people, you know, maybe they don't necessarily want to lose a ton of weight. You know, I think all of us on some level want to look a little bit better and feel a little bit better. So that goes for whether you want to lose a specific amount of weight or you just want like your clothes to fit better or what have you. So I kind of wanted to start off with an example. I think that a lot of times when people first get into dialing in or attempting to dial in their nutrition and things like that, there's two main routes that they usually go. And so that's what I'm going to try to illustrate with this example here. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have two little stick figures up there. There's person A and person B. So basically, for argument's sake, we're going to say both of these people have the same general goals in mind, and they're kind of at the same starting point. So maybe they just want to shape up a little bit, lose a little bit of weight, look a little bit better, feel a little bit better. But like I said, they're going to go two very different routes to actually achieve that goal. So hopefully I'm not going to fall off this bench while I'm talking to you guys. But if I do, you can laugh. It's okay. So person A, they're going to go kind of the traditional dieting route, which I think a lot of people mistakenly think is the way to go whenever they begin all this stuff. And I'm going to make some sweeping generalizations here, just again for argument's sake. So person A, let's say they're going to go on a really strict diet. So whether they're just like cutting a bunch of calories, or maybe they're cutting out all their carbs or something like that. They're kind of taking some arbitrary information that they say found on the internet or something that their friend's doing, and they're going to try to apply that to themselves, and they're really going to try to like white knuckle their way through it. So they're also going to be focusing mostly on calories in versus calories out, or, you know, again, you could replace this with maybe they're trying to eat like as few carbs as possible. Again, some kind of general recommendation that doesn't necessarily fit their needs. So they're going to measure their success with the scale. So it's a good day if they've lost a little bit of weight. If they haven't, it's a bad day. And because of all this, because of that focus on the calories in versus calories out and just losing weight, they're most likely going to make that the focus of their workouts as well if they start working out. So we'll probably see, you know, a ton of cardio here. They're going to be thinking, okay, how many calories did I burn on that run? How many minutes do I have to be on, you know, the elliptical machine at the gym to burn off whatever I ate last night? You know, that's going to be a lot of their focus. And again, the diet, all about restriction. So like I said, I think this is a route that a lot of people go. And it has some pretty crappy side effects that go with it. One being that, you know, if you've ever done any of these things or all of the above, you know, a tendency is to kind of start to feel obsessed with food, or feel like it's taking up a lot of brain space, and you start to feel kind of out of control around food, and you're like, oh, what's wrong with me? Like, you know, I just have a problem and the issue's with me, and I just need to buckle down and I need to try harder. So that's going to be one side effect. Another thing is they're most likely going to be slowing down their metabolism if they go this way. And that's because if they're not eating enough and they're also focusing all their workouts on getting smaller and burning calories, they're probably going to be losing a lot of muscle mass at the same time that they're losing any amount of fat. So the thing about muscle, I'm sure you guys have heard, you know, muscle weighs more than fat. muscle is also a lot more expensive calorie-wise, so it takes a lot more calories to maintain muscle than it does fat. So that's actually a good thing. That's what we
They might
want.
have forgot about it. They have so many different inspirations that if you
Somebody
don't
should
show
get
them to them,
done.
they probably won't.
So this person is not going to maintain their muscle mass, and they're going to slow down their metabolism in the process. Now, do I mean that they're like permanently damaging their metabolism, can never come back from it? No, definitely not. That's actually really hard to do. But they're not setting themselves up for success this way. They're just gonna make it harder and harder. They're gonna have to eat less and less over a period of time in order to either maintain their weight loss or to just keep the weight that they're at. Another thing is they're probably gonna have really low energy, and they're gonna feel really irritable because of it, which is pretty natural. You know, if you're basing all the way you're eating off of restriction, and that's what your workouts are all about too, it's probably gonna zap your energy and not make you feel very good. They might feel like they don't have a life, you know, because they can't eat grandma's cooking, or they have to, you know, try to keep themselves from going crazy if they like go to a party and there's a bunch of food around or something, and you know they have eaten nothing but like celery for 5 days in a row or something crazy like that. And then the last but not least, super inevitable side effect of going this route is weight gain, and that's because I put here, you know, this is not a lifestyle. This is a wagon to be fallen off of again and again and again. And so what a lot of people find is the first time they attempt to do some sort of extreme measure like this, they might have a lot of success at first, but over time, the more crazy, strict diets that you put yourself on, the less and less time it takes for you to fall off that wagon. And what happens if you are in this cycle for years, you end up weighing more than you did when you started, and you end up weighing more than you would have if you never went on the diet to begin with. And that's just because this is not sustainable for us as human beings. We're not wired physically or psychologically to be able to handle that amount of self-enforced restriction. So if you're someone who's found yourself in this first camp, I just kind of want to illustrate that, because I want to demonstrate the fact that, you know, there's nothing wrong with you. This is just not the way to go. Instead, I would want to encourage you to go the route of person B, so my other little imaginary person here. So again, this is someone who has the same goals in mind. They want to look a little bit better, feel a little bit better. They're going to go a completely different route. They're going to take a little bit of baseline knowledge, because you don't have to be an expert at any of this stuff. They're going to apply that, and they're going to be flexible in their approach, and they're going to make the whole thing a learning process. They're going to have a lot more fun and a lot more success on the way there. So the first thing they're going to do is they're going to take that knowledge, that baseline knowledge, and they're going to eat for their body's needs and their preferences, because that gets to actually factor into what you eat. You know, you don't have to force yourself to eat the way that you hate. Again, they're going to be flexible, and they're going to change that as their needs change, especially if they start working out. You know, your needs are going to change, and they're just going to be completely flexible in that approach. Again, their workouts are going to look a lot different from that of person A. So person B is going to focus on, you know, what their body can do, and they know the importance of having that lean muscle tissue and being strong and being fit. So they're going to add some resistance training in along with their cardio. And they're going to train in order to feel better and to see what their body can do. And when I say resistance training here, I certainly don't mean that you have to join CrossFit gym, although you can if you want to. You don't have to like go bro it out at, you know, the bro gym or whatever. Resistance training is just anything where you are challenging your muscles and stimulating that growth. So this could be something like just doing push-ups or sit-ups or air squats, and all stuff that you can do at your house. Anything, again, that's going to challenge your muscles. You don't have to be a big muscle head to get there. Their focus is instead going to be on how they feel. So both in their workouts and in their day-to-day life. That's how they're going to be flexible in their approach, because they're going to be willing to adjust what they need to based on how they feel. They're going to measure their success with their level of fitness. So if they're doing this resistance training, they're going to be like, okay, well, this week I did, you know, today I did X amount of push-ups. Is that more push-ups than I could do 2 weeks ago? you know, just as an example, they're going to be excited about getting stronger, getting fitter. That's going to be their focus. They're also going to measure their success again with their energy and just their overall feeling of well-being, and be willing to adjust accordingly. And then I have here the side effects, all of which are positive, as you'll see. There's really, you know, there's no downside to doing it this way. The first thing I have here is confidence, and what I mean is just rather than feeling like you're constantly getting on and off the wagon of like going route A and feeling like there's something wrong with you and you just can't stick to diets, and you know there's something inherently wrong with you as a person. You know, this person is going off again this more holistic, flexible approach, and they are using it as a learning process, so they just feel more confident in all of that because they're tuning into what their body's needs are, and they're learning over time how to tweak it to make it work even better for them. Also, faster metabolism because they're not starving themselves. They're making sure that they're eating what their body needs, they're getting enough nutrients, and also they're doing some resistance training. They're focusing on getting fitter and getting stronger. Therefore, they're building more lean muscle mass. And I'm not talking about bodybuilder style. I'm just talking about a healthy amount of lean muscle mass. And it's going to allow them to burn more calories both at rest and while they're being active. So therefore, they'll be able to eat a more sane amount of food than trying to starve themselves all the time. They're also going to have higher energy. I feel like that's a given. It's going to be a lot more fun this way, so they're not going to be miserable all the time. And then last but not least, as a side effect of doing all of this stuff and taking this holistic, flexible approach, they will naturally arrive at a healthy body weight and healthy body composition. And that's something that we talk a lot about here at the gym, and something that our owner is really big on is that I have written here, form follows function. So when we have new athletes come into the gym, we always encourage them to focus, one, on what they can do and getting better over time and increasing their performance, and that they will arrive naturally at healthy body weight and body composition as a result of that. So if you focus on the healthy functioning of your body and everything that entails, the healthy body and body weight and feeling better and looking better in your clothes and all that will be a natural byproduct. So yeah, and the whole reason I just wanted to start with that is because I think a lot of people get hung up on going about this in the wrong way and thinking that something's wrong with them. But really, they just need a little bit of foundational knowledge to go a better route instead.